Well, Candace Owens, for any fault she has, is one that she doesn't have. She has guts.
To stop lying. And I would like to honor that, okay? I can only honor that if Erika is more explicit in terms of what I have lied about.
You know, for all the things that you've talked about, I don't really think you've lied about probably anything because this is personal for you. And whatever the reasoning is, one can argue that Candace's motivation, as much as any, is because Charlie was her friend and she deeply cared for him. I believe Candace already knows who did this. I believe she is doing what she has to do to bring the public along in a very effective way. She can't just come right out and say, but she's putting the pieces together so that everyone can follow along. And she is fearless. You got to give it to her. She doesn't care what they throw in her direction. And right now, they're throwing the kitchen sink at her. I'm sure you guys are all catching what they've been saying on social media, on the channels, even in corporate news, led by Barry Weiss. So we'll get to her in a second. This gets to the heart of how we're going to break the Zio state. And that's why they have to do this. But she is not running away from the fight. She's running towards it.
What did I lie about? It's just incredible. Like there have this opportunity. The questions have been before. You could just start like going through them. Maybe they will. By the way, it's coming out on Saturday. Maybe I've made a mistake somewhere and I'm happy. I want to correct that, right? I'm not interested. My goal is not to tell lies. It is obviously plausible that I have made mistakes. I've reviewed these lists that we've put together and I can't find the lie, okay? The lies that I find are coming out of Turning Point USA.
So here we go.
Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
So this is just, to me, I'm going to also let you know, they pre-recorded this. Obviously, I told you this yesterday from about 11 o'clock to 4 p.m. I have sources just everywhere, CBS News, the people that were in the audience I showed you were emailing me.
I want to pause for a second and just make a brief little interlude for our channel. As you guys can see, we are actually growing now, and we do have a little bit of an impact in the grand scheme of the conversation. So I will ask you all, if you would be so kind, if you have suggestions for our channel, whether it be guests, whether it be tips, things to talk about, particularly about these core issues, especially as it relates to Israel right now, please don't hesitate to reach out. Shoot us an email. Email Rachel at revolutionarychangenow.com. You can even email me, Peter, at revolutionarychangenow.com. I just saw admin. Email admin at revolutionarychangenow.com. So please, guys, we would appreciate any feedback, any suggestions, any guests that you think would be good for us to collaborate with. I'd love to talk to Candace. Heck, I'd even talk to Nick Fuentes. Tim, Sabby is going to be joining us the following Monday for our winter solstice. So you're going to want to tune in for that, my friend. We shall continue.
And they had to do multiple takes because Barry wanted to read a prompter. These questions were pre-submitted, okay? And I would like to respond to this loaded question. What would you like to say? The podcaster Candace Owens, and I'm not even going to address this repeat talking point about people making money, except for the people that have actually made off of all of the money, millions upon millions of dollars. But this is the new thing. It's like, if you keep doing what you were already doing in podcasting, or keep doing what you were already doing and doing ballistics on YouTube, if you catch a bunch of views, they want to convince you that like you wake up and you turn into a millionaire. Building her business. What are you talking about? I already had this business. I was already at the top of the charts. Okay, I said I wasn't going to talk about it. I actually did, because it's so ridiculous. Okay. But she says, I'm lying. And Erika responds, and her answer to what do you want to say to the podcaster Candace Owens, who is lying, is stop. So Erika would like me to stop lying. And I would like to honor that. Okay. I can only honor that if Erika is more explicit in terms of what I have lied about.
You know, the big difference between Candace Owens and somebody like Matt Walsh, who has a very large platform, Candace Owens bet on herself and she won. Matt Walsh is not willing to do that as well.
What did I lie about? It's just incredible. There have this opportunity. The questions have been before. You could just start like going through them. Maybe they will. By the way, it's coming on Saturday. Maybe I've made a mistake somewhere and I'm happy. I want to correct that, right? I'm not interested. My goal is not to tell lies. It is obviously plausible that I have made mistakes. I've reviewed these lists that we've put together and I can't find the lie. Okay. The lies that I find are coming out of Turning Point USA. Okay. And here are some of those lies. You know, Mikey had blood all over him. Okay. Mikey has offered that his dad was confused. I'll accept that. Well, I didn't lie about that. Rob McCoy lied. His father also said he called his father first. Maybe Rob McCoy was confused. Mikey being a hero for walking away doesn't feel honest. Charlie's neck stopping a 30-06 bullet because he ate healthy and had strong bones. It was a modern day Christian miracle. That feels like a pretty big lie. Okay. Charlie never wavered in his support for Israel was a nasty lie. Maybe Barry want to like, what do you want to say to the people that literally lied about what Charlie was living through in the last weeks of his life? Stop, Josh Hammer. Stop, Bibi Netanyahu. No, I'm sorry. Barry Weiss is here. We're not going to get to that.
By the way, Josh Hammer is Timu Ben Shapiro. If you haven't listened to him or heard of him, it's pretty bad.
Charlie was a committed evangelical who only liked Catholic architecture. Did I lie about that? Nope. Turning Point USA lied about that. And I was attacked for telling me, I'm attacked for catching the lies. We'll get to that later. That's their new method. Once first they accuse me of lying, then I prove I'm not lying. And then their strategy.
Can I just say, I think it's hysterical that our channel has gotten such a reach tonight that I'm seeing the anti-Candace comments in the chat. Now they're starting to show up. So, hey guys, that's funny. I'm on Team Candace, in case you're wondering. So why don't you shit on me a little bit? Don't go after the woman all the time. Go after the man. We could take it.
Is to attack me for telling the truth and saying, how dare you reveal a personal text message to defend yourself from being called a liar. We can keep going here. Has any of this been clarified? Ben Shapiro said they never had any bad blood between them. I proved that was not true. Again, that also came from a little PR, Alex Clark pulling that move. Next page, Terrell Farnsworth was told to remove that SD card by police. That was not true. Terrell Farnsworth personally told me that was not true. Terrell removed the SD cards because people were stealing hats. Again, not what Terrell Farnsworth himself told me. And also doesn't make any logical sense, because if you're worried about theft, you would have taken the cameras and not just the SD card, particularly from the camera behind his head, as opposed to the cameras that were in front of him. Lie. Charlie established a Doge and it was not unusual. That's a lie. It wasn't usual. Doge didn't even exist prior to Elon Musk making that a thing about government accountability. Charlie Kirk's team did not fly drones. Major lie. Brian Harpole told that lie. Brian Harpole also told a major lie when he said that the security had communicated with UVU police to secure those rooftops. That was a lie. It was actually the walkway behind. What am I getting here? What have I done here in this presentation that I lied about? Have I made mistakes along the way? Yes, I'm not perfect, and I will always adjust those mistakes. So I'm asking you to tell me what I lied about.
I've said this before. I'll say it again. Candace Owens cares more about Charlie Kirk than his own widow does. I believe that. People want to disagree, so be it. I don't know why that sped up like that. That may have been on our end, and I apologize. But obviously, there was a lot of talking points to get through there, but very poignant and seemed to be proof positive from what I can see. Again, all Candace is asking for is prove the lie. Can't even prove the lie about the airplanes. Where there's smoke, there is a hell of a lot of fire. That much we know.
Why is there not this same energy also for the feds? Because they've told some lies. We've got a list of those too. We put that together. We would like some clarity. Again, Charlie being shot with 3.6. The lover text messages mysteriously presented without any timestamps, lying about how Tyler Robinson was arrested. They claim that he confessed and turned himself in. That's not what happened. That he was guilty. Also, father said he was guilty. That's not what happened. Never revealed that Tyler Robinson was at the Dairy Queen following the assassination. He was throwing clothes away, as I presented to you guys in the cemetery. That's problematic to the timeline. We'd like some clarity. That's an oddity. They said Tyler Robinson was arrested wearing a maroon shirt. That actually was also not true. They said Tyler Robinson was suicidal, but also turned himself in because he was afraid of being shot by police. Those two ideas seem to be running into each other. How can both of these things be true? Do you want to die or not want to die? Maybe there's an explanation. It's definitely odd. And the footage mysteriously missing of Tyler Robinson turning himself in. And then, of course, there's just like things that we can't get answers to, which is the Egyptian planes, tracking Charlie, following Erika throughout years. Instead, they're laughing at these things. So what am I lying about? Explicitly lying about? Not made a molecular or a minor mistake. We've got a time zone wrong. And then it's like, she lied. The plane left a couple of hours earlier. Maybe somewhere I made a mistake on a timeline of Charlie being here on this day when he's actually there on that day. But I'm talking like, where am I lying? Because I would like to stop if you can tell me.
She's not lying. But as my trusty colleague likes to say, Candace is flying very, very, very close to the sun. Very close. Now, we have debated whether or not she is protected like Tucker is. I believe she is. I surmise, I could be wrong, but my theory is that Candace is married to someone who is connected to MI6. That's my opinion. So, aside potentially from U.S. intelligence, British intelligence as well, but she's protected. No two ways about it. And to her credit, she is willing to risk putting herself in exceptionally dangerous ways. She is in danger. I believe that. And who knows, maybe we would be. What if we had 15,000 people watching our channel instead of 2,000? What then? Who knows? But it's possible. Do you guys realize that we are about to pass 100,000 subscribers and there is not a single advertiser that has reached out to us to promote on our channel? We are going to pass 1.5 million views this month, maybe more. In this month, we will pass it. No one is looking to advertise on this channel. And I don't blame them. We are not exactly advertiser friendly, now are we? We are fighters for the truth, like Candace. And in this corporate oligarchic broken system that we're living in, that's not what they want to hear. Now, you know, if we were just a channel that just gossiped about other content creators and didn't actually care about the issues that matter, yeah, I have no doubt that they would be loving having an opportunity to promote this channel. Heck, we do comedy and we bicker back and forth and have a good time. And we're seekers of truth. I will also say that we have never lost sight of how far we've come. I know I haven't. I am reminded that I am very fortunate to be where I am right now, as is Jen. We have really come a long way. And I understand that at any moment it could be removed. It could be pulled away from us. We take a risk. We're not connected. We don't have people that are protecting us at the top. We're not that fortunate. But I have faith in the people that support our channel, because I think you guys are all here for the same reason. And I have no doubt that the overwhelming majority of people that are in the chat are from all different walks of the political spectrum. There is not one ideology that finds its way here. And that's a good thing. I don't want to be Ben Shapiro or Hassan Piker. I want us to be about the people, about breaking down those different lines that people assume are in the way of collaboration. They're not. The powers that be want you to believe that that's what it is, but it's not. Nothing scares the powers that be more than our ability to cross-pollinate with people we don't necessarily agree with across the board. And as long as you're not part of the corporate special interest machine, as long as you do not support the Zio state or the current incarnation of the American system and realize that we are living through a revolutionary period as we speak, then you've come to the right place.